it, you will see it.
Okay.
Just trust me.
Alright, we'll trust black. In black, we trust for the lower bracket final. Game number 1, let's hand over to the commentary team of Merlini and Toby One.
Thanks a lot, Red. Merlini, do we trust black?
I'm with Newbee on this one. I like the Winter Wyvern pickup. We haven't seen it too much, but I think it's the correct solution to Liquid's lineup.
Man, I want to see how it functions. Liquid looks strong. Liquid look comfortable. Their draft looks amazing. Let's see how it goes. Game number 1 of this best of 3 lower bracket final. It's time to get underway. And it is game number 1, Newbee versus Team Liquid. Newbee bringing in, I know Liquid's got a lot of strength behind them, but the Slaughter pickup has been one hell of a pick throughout this entire playoff. How do you think Newbee's going to actually time this? Like, are they looking for kills? Are they looking for what? How does Newbee approach against Team Liquid's lineup, which can have an easy maneuver into Roshan?
Survive the early game against Enchantress. That's the key here. They have a very greedy lineup. Lycan is decent in lane, but I think most of the other heroes are very, very weak relative to their Newbee counterparts. So just limit Chuan, maybe smoke into their jungle. That's what we see sometimes versus Enchantress. At least block one of the large spawns, or be in correct positions with your smokes.
Obviously, we're having a little bit of time as Fada is just fixing up his stuff. But Team Liquid, okay, so Matoaman, Lycan, the Tidehunter off lane, you've got Fada on his Invoker. Everything seems to be like, if you're looking for signature, if you're looking for that comfort zone, Liquid are sitting in it right now. This is almost armchair style Dota for their level of comfort.
Yeah, still, they have very good team fight. I think that's one of the most important things versus Liquid. The Death Prophet is, I think, even better than the Tidehunter when it comes to the team fight. And then you have Juggernaut to deal with the Egg. They had other solutions to ban out the Slark. And then the Winter Wyvern, I think, is really the key hero. It's even good versus the Quas Exort Invoker. Forge Spirits and Wolves, especially with a Howl on.
So summons start working against Team Liquid because of the Wyvern.
Yeah, I think that's one of the reasons why they didn't ban it out. They're like, okay, if they really want to pick that, Vada almost always goes for the Quas Exort Invoker, so they know he'll have summons.
Chuan shall be the watchman, standing up on the hillside to see Jirax coming close. He's trying to watch for this early ward that Jirax puts down, and he sees it absolutely perfectly. So Jirax, all he wanted to do was block out that small little camp so Chuan couldn't have easy creeps to rotate around between the top and the mid lane. This won't happen as Chuan watches him so closely. Now Jirax, he puts the ward up and realizes what's going on. So Chuan able to scout out both of the observer wards here from Jirax. Is he... Okay, so he's put a sentry down. He's going to try and contest the D ward. Chuan's going to be over here as well. Icarus dive forward, then back down again, but Jirax maybe a little bit too greedy. He couldn't finish up the ward. KP's right behind him. They're going to enchant. Crush is being leveled up right now. Jirax on the run. The crush from KP. Jirax low. Jirax down. Trying to battle for vision, and now they can go for more. Crush is coming back up. Cooldown in 1 second time. Final me body blocked up. Chuan behind him too. It's going to be a twofer.
And that's exactly what you expect when you play as an Enchantress. You expect them to ward up your camp, and Chuan just one step ahead of Liquid, maybe even 2 steps. I like Jirax's kind of play there, drew his team into a bad spot, but still it was pretty cheeky. KP will find that sentry ward. They have not dewarded that other one.
Yeah, but they know exactly where it is, and they also know both Obs and a sentry were committed to that point. So we get to go now after the little bit of excitement over the top lane. A 2-0 advantage to Newbee into the laning phase.
And this early lane on the bottom might have a little bit of trouble dealing with mind control. We've seen him when he gets off to a bad start in this game. He seems to be okay. Very long cooldown on that Arctic Burn and a Boots burst from the Howl might pose some threat.
And middle lane, what a surprise. Mu and Fada already get up in each other's faces to see who can really keep the control of this mid lane. Obviously, Mu wants to do a lot of prep work, waiting for Chuan's rotation. Chuan, now with those extra sentry wards brought out, he's also come up with the smoke. So we're expecting Chuan to have some big influence on this map. But the question is, how long will it take to go there? All he's got right now is a Hellbear, which he can enchant. Not really the greatest creep to try and go for a gank with, unless you want to tank it up.
It's okay, he can even choose to farm at this point. He already had 2 kills in the early game, and they have the Satyr on the top lane, which keeps KP safe for quite some time. Mid lane DP versus Invoker. I think Invoker is the key hero to kill.
Mattelman's having a pain in the... Like, how do you even deal with this? You know you're going to get nuked down.
And JerAx is already in position to pop the smoke. He expects the smoke from Enchantress right now, but Chuan...
Chuan's rotating up into the Dire jungle instead, but JerAx is moving over. He's a little bit too far away to see it. There was a small ping that came out, and now bottom lane, mind control really low. Back behind the tower, so he will be safe for the moment. But it looks like KP is preparing himself to fight up on this top lane. Charging his way up, he's got Crush available. He's going to try zone out Kuro instead, while the Hellbear and the Satyr is causing real issues for Mattelman, who just has to try and dodge the clamp and the blasts. So KP not really finding the perfect opportunity. But Chuan just putting his influence everywhere.
Yep, and he has another Satyr.
Life is good. Life is very, very good if you're Chuan. The only issue is he lost the other Satyr. But if you can hold on to 2 or 3 of those, that burst damage, you can kill off any lane you want to.
And the Hellbear is still harassing Mattelman. Not getting any free farm, almost out of regen.
Speaking of kill, I'm wondering exactly what JerAx is trying to attempt here. He's moved between the tier 1 and the tier 2 tower in the mid lane, almost like he wants to dive on to move, but he's got no sprites and he's got no sunray.
The chicken snipe. You're hoping just sometimes you catch him out at a lucky time, especially with a slow bottle.
Well, he had to wait another 30 seconds to get to that. And the observer ward, which is down in the mid lane, also scattered his movement. So Moose bottle will now come out to mid.
And Enchantress still holding on to her smoke.
Yeah, Chuan hasn't really found the perfect opportunity to gank up yet. I guess it's not even like he has to smoke. It's a very obvious style movements. You run in behind, you can still synergize perfectly with the heroes in the lane.
As long as they're hurting Mattelman CS as well as the 2 supports. Phoenix is still level 1.
And Mattelman's actually really, really low. Back behind the tower. That Satyr's not going to last much longer. It's got a blast in 1 second time, but it also times out too early. KP goes into the tree lines, Crush is available, but it's going to be Chuan to take the kill. Having a spare Satyr up his sleeve. So Mattelman, not only was his CS hurt, he hasn't hit double figures just yet, now he adds a death to his name.
And that early game dewarding really hurting Liquid. They weren't able to use a sentry to like block that camp in their safe lane. And now Mattelman really struggling in the CS department, 9 CS.
They just can't see anything coming. Like, they got 1 observer ward on that bottom river, and that's practically all. That allowed them to at least see Kaka moving in behind the tier 1 tower in the mid. But his moment to attack here, like, he's got 2 points up in Splinter Blast. He's making sure there are no Force Spirit controls or anything else. In fact, Fada with Pulse Snap, Mind Control, doesn't have Gush available, and Kaka tries to make a break for the high ground. He's able to do so. The mischance wasn't there from Fada.
And no mana for Sunstrike.
Downside. He still would have had to have like a blind guess up against Kaka.
But they can catch up with the help of Nighttime. Night Stalker with the Iron Talon and Mind Control can just stack up. With the Arcade Room, maybe can even take off some stacks early.
I think Fada actually kind of wants to go for it. Like, I know you won't have time. He's gonna be... Like, the mana is up in like 1 second. And then he could have a crack, but it's already too late, so yeah.
These 2 Liquid supports gonna run into 3 Chuan creeps.
With a tornado starting up too. A Troll Trap and a follow-up Satyr Blast.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
How long can Mattelman do this? Like, the Lycan can't fight up on this top lane.
They haven't really been able to invade this top lane. Death Prophet, no Exorcism yet, and Omni not up on the Juggernaut, so they can't invade this tower yet. So they're so safe for maybe a minute.
Mid lane, damn that damage from Splinter Blast combining up with a Siphon. Fada back behind the tier 1 tower, tries to go invis, but just not enough time. Actually tried to cold snap his way out, but it's now 4-0 in favor of Newbee. Every single lane apart from maybe the bottom lane is being controlled, but then again, it's a 3 CS mind control tied off lane.
The Newbee supports are just destroying the Liquid support at this point. The Observer Ward is blocking a full camp, and they have good eyes on the 2 supports because they're forced to deal with all these Enchantress creeps, and it just leaves Invokers stranded in the mid lane.
But they got no other choice. Liquid backed into a corner. And as time goes on, they need to find a window to get out of this. Like, Invoker needs something. The Night Stalker nighttime rotations haven't really done much. You got a level 3 Night Stalker. And what do you think? Like, Iron Talon farm up inside the jungle, the Enchantress can just try and invade it. Even Mattelman's been forced to move into the jungle.
This is the key when you deal with a Lycan. Most of the time, the Lycan will just move into the jungle and the support will take the safe lane. But if you put so much pressure that any hero is going to just die if they say they're solo, support or the Lycan, then they can't do that and they can't really maximize the early game farm from the Lycan.
Which now means you have one semi-crippled hero and one like basically fully crippled hero.
So Radiant Skin comes out, it will come out exactly where JRX is. However, he is scattered out by the Observer Ward. I guess they were expecting maybe a smoke tank to the north side of Moo.
Just be worried about your mid lane. Your top lane's safe. I don't think you really are that scared about a Juggernaut. In fact, I think Liquid are a lot more scared of Juggernaut than he is of them. And Sean's already ready to try and fight.
They really need
Ravage.
Ravage. They can't defend us without Ravage.
Oh, mind control's getting close.
Yeah, not close enough. And no TP scroll on them. And no Arcane Boots.
It's gonna take too long. Exorcism committed by Moo, so this tier 1 tower. If we want to make sure this thing does go down with a catapult, there's still fortification from Liquid, so they can slow it down, but it only delays it by a couple of seconds, and they're already going to abandon the top tower. And this now, with the extra money, KP is rapidly approaching that Blink Dagger. 1900 gold, only 7 minutes into the game.
It looks like Chuan wants to keep up the pressure, not going for that greedy Midas, instead a very aggressive earn.
Bot lane, you got silence from Kuro. They might be able to go on Hao. He instantly starts to spin as Kuro comes in from the side, but the damage on Hao is so big, there's not enough. The Sunstrike! He got him back at base! Fada was waiting for it. He knew the TP would go, and he hits the mark perfectly, and Liquid finally get themselves on the board.
Nice one from Fada. Newbee trying to aggressively ward up their jungle. JRX, I think, actually is able to deward that Observer Ward. He has a sentry over there.
And they needed something like that. Extra money coming into Fada, that means so much too, because it means his Hand of Midas timing isn't as heavily delayed anymore. It's up to 1100 gold on him. I'm still looking at KP, who's now going to move to the side shop, and he's picking up his Blink Dagger. So the aggression from Newbee can now begin because they have their initiator ready to go.
Ooh, it's really early timing from him.
Yeah, 8 minutes and 24 seconds to get a Blink Dagger.
Still have that, I think, early game smoke from Chuan. And Liquid have an Observer Ward, and it looks like he wants to TP down to the bottom, get a kill on Fada.
That'll be an easy one for him. Blink Crush gonna come off. Hao, he's moving in close. They've got a little bit of crit, but the Omni side bounced a little bit unfavorably, but still Fada will go down.
Ouch. That hurts a lot. Especially look at him, he's cold.
Yeah.
1100.
That's the money was say, hey, he got it from the Sunstrike, he's looking good, that Hand of Midas time is coming up, but now it gets delayed. Fada probably thought that bottom lane was the safest considering Newbee owned the Dire jungle at the moment.
And Phoenix really struggling to pick up some levels right now. He was just level 3 until a moment ago.
They're really the supports as well, which is say, hey, these guys can easily come back. It's not like a lion who can hit that finger of death and then you can start smoke rotating to find kill. Like this is a Phoenix and a Night Stalker. These guys need to have space. And JRX is trying to have some, but look at Sean. He sends his troll behind the tower, so if JRX does decide to go for the dive towards the tower, he's able to trap him up. But JRX smartly goes to the west instead.
Nice eyes by JRX over there. And Liquid are in a pretty good spot because they've only taken down one
lane. Here comes KP again. Actually waited to get the amplification up before he blinked and crushed, which allows Newbee to have just enough damage before the Lycan can try and scudder himself back behind the tower. And now that's Dog Form on cooldown, not to mention some damage coming the way of that mid-tier 1.
Yeah, because that's one of your worst nightmares, the 9-minute Blink Dagger on Slardar, and that's 2 kills on 2 important cores, and if they don't even have to blow Exorcism to take this tower, Liquid might be in for a surprise when it comes to Roast, but
Moo does it anyway. They want to force the issue quickly so they can just keep their rotations going. Never give up, never let up on Liquid.
Liquid just need a couple more minutes, almost level 6 on the Night Stalker, almost level 6 on the Phoenix, and almost Midas, so this is not a good time for them to fight at all. Maybe with Exorcism down, they can take a fight in a minute or so, but Slardar, Blink is king.
And Fada's trying to delay this as much as he can, using Forge Spears to drive the creep wave back. But the Cold Embrace from Kaka gave Moo so much life that he just stood there in front of the tower and didn't even matter. The Catapult's going to get the last hit because Moo wanted to back up just a little bit earlier. Observer Ward, KP, I guess right on top of Matubberman, and KP was looking for the Blink Crush.
Kuro's doing a good job of finding farm where it's really difficult to. He's just parked in the Radiant jungle, almost level 6, and this also opens a potential kill on for Hao, who is still farming up his Battle Fury. They have an Observer Ward drop behind a tower. Maybe with nighttime they can get a preemptive silence on him. into a Ravage, I think it'd be worth it to kill him like that, just a solo Ravage, especially if they have the Sunstrike to come in.
It's good to see that Liquid actually have that kind of plan. Like, it's not just, hey, let's just dodge and farm wherever we can.
I think that's the target.
They need the extra objective. TP going out by Kuro. Hal's going to walk straight up to him, but it's a little bit too late to try and catch him out. But as you said, the 3-man smoke maneuver coming out from Newbee. There's only one tier 1 tower left on the map, and it's down the bottom, but all of Team Liquid are down here also with a semi-smoke. So we're going to have ourselves a bit of a clash as KP. Smoke's going to break a Batalman as well as move. KP blinked himself up, already puts the amplification over on G-Rex, wants the crush, finds Batalman, the Sunstrike from Fada, not going to connect on anything, and now into the nose, the Newbee back up with the Ravage, and they have no choice. They have to stay underneath this, and move the Golden Grace, keeping him alive a bit now, and with the pass, Kuro's going to go down so quickly. KP keeps the crushes going too, but Tumbleman's on the sideline, a double kill for Kaka. G-Rex trying to find anything he can, looking for who's just dodging sprites left, right, and center. T-Rex is silenced up too. He's going nowhere, and Fada's also in trouble. Amplified, there's nowhere to hide. Kaka's looking for a triple if he can get it. The ice falls down, but Chuan will take it. Liquid are wiped from the face of the earth.
What a cold embrace coming out from Kaka, and I really like to play with Jerex. He held the tome on him, and he was level 5, and Newbee must have surely checked his levels before.
You got to see that again. Batalman instantly controlled that silence from move. Like, what do you even do? Fada just has to sit there and watch for so long.
Raindrops really paying off for him there. Raindrops just cold embrace, so Spirit Siphon very difficult to take down.
Batalman and Fada are actually forced to kill off their own Night Stalker, Kuro, who's been working so hard to find any level of farm possible.
It was also really crucial that KP dodged that initial Sunstrike. That would have taken down to maybe half, I think, with the sprint on.
I just saw her coming.
I think it was a really good read by Newbee too, because they saw the Night Stalker TP out, so you don't really. That's a difficult gank to predict.
Liquid. Things just getting harder and harder for him. They're looking for Kuro. Kuro does have a TP scroll available, but they know he's down there. Now they're going to see him KP. He gets the crotch off. Kuro can't hide the tree lines. Juggernaut will be the man to find the kill. How the top net worth on the board, 7,000 going his way. Overall, however, Newbee are all close to breaking the 10k mark on the goal advantage. And if they are, yeah, they're going to slip themselves into Roshan. There's no Ravage up for 40 seconds. And with amplification, this will be very quick on top of Exorcism.
And Healing Ward just to be safe.
There's a level 2 Exorcism too. So Liquid don't even have that option, like, hey, let's just smoke ourselves in, we'll use the Lycan and we'll take out Roshan. The funny thing is, like, Lycan is only just, he hasn't completed up his Vlads yet. He's close, but he still hasn't done it. With 14 minutes in, and Lycan cannot complete a Vladimir's offering.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And now they're going to deny it mid tower as well. So while Liquid at least get to remove that tier 1 tower from the mid, they still don't get that much needed money. KP, Kuro, wait for it.
I think this must be one of the latest level 6s that I've seen from Kuro.
He's just had no space. Like, what are you meant to do anyway? Your tier 1 tower on the top lane gets forced so hard that your Lycan's forced back into the jungle. You're forced then to run to the Radiant jungle to farm up.
That's what he's supposed to do, just Iron Talon and dodge fights, but that's not what Liquid's really known for as a team. They're known for just taking fights whether or not they're behind.
And Newbee's forcing him to fight anyway, so... And you can't really dodge him. Then we're going to have both your support dodge, Phoenix as well.
I think Chuan was just really happy to get his hands on an Enchantress this game. Like, their supports are going to have a really rough time versus him.
I mean, most teams are willing to let it through the draft. Jirax, so close. Chuan, he's the man on the front line. The Kanye KP there, Jirax. Luckily, doesn't get silenced, so he's able to get back to his own tower. If he did get silenced, he probably would have just done a full turnaround on the back of that Icarus dive. But at least he's able to break the smoke of Newbee. Yeah, Newbee actually moving bottom lane, double TPs. Now is Batumman sitting in the tree line, trying to stay out of detection.
Yeah, you definitely don't want to fight at this point. Not into the Aegis.
Well, he can't TP anyway. It was on cooldown. Now he can TP, and he takes the ticket straight away.
That's okay, as long as they're not dying and getting some damage onto the T1s.
Radiant's top tower.
Well, they are getting some damage onto that top tier 1 too, but Newbee is coming in force. Exorcism's off cooldown in 16 seconds time. Problem is when the Lycan Wolves are creep skipping like this too, they can't get their creep wave. They can't just instantly push into the tower. So it's buying time for Liquid to continuously farm up inside the jungle. They're still trying to play catch up. You have the Midas Invoker. You have some pretty decent high ground defense when your ultis are up. The only thing is you got to get a good combo off. And they don't have the greatest items to ensure that.
And Newbee have to be frustrated that they can't take any fights versus Liquid. They're doing a good job of using the Wolves to scout, as well as nicely placed observer wards by the Liquid supports. And I wonder when Newbee will want to pick up a gem.
Just remove all that vision.
It's really important versus the Wolves. There's just really no other solution. Sentries are just very inefficient gold-wise. Necro 3, not really a good pickup for Newbee, and not even a good solution.
You have another solution. Charge. Just go straight into the tier 3 tower. You still have that Aegis the Immortal. Juggernaut was hoping to find some kind of pick off, and yep, Moo commits the exorcism. So Liquid, you must come home or else you lose bottom ranks. You may lose it anyway. So they have to try and fight. KP, Blink Crush, gonna miss. He gets amplification over on the Lycan, however. So Lycan down to -3 on his armor. Jirax waiting in the tree line too. Hoping to find a good initiation point, but fortifications burnt. Moo's still doing work to that tier 3 tower. And they're smoked up on the back line. They need Newbee to commit harder, and they need more than Hal to commit. He's the man holding up the Aegis the Immortal. So anything they burn on him is particularly wasted.
And his level 1 egg is very easy to take down with the Jug Spin. Even the Enchantress with the Dragon Lance shouldn't have any issues because she shouldn't get hit by the Spirits. So it's very difficult to take a good fight right now. Tidehunter no blink, so very hard to catch Liquid by surprise using that smoke, but it's already gone.
What is Newbee bailing out for? Moo's actually just picking up a Vit booster before this fight begins.
Still a healthy minute left on the Aegis.
Really want to get that Blink Crush off from KP. The second that happens, if he can catch Mind Control and just delete the Ravage from the fight, that's going to be what it's all about. And there's no buyback available either. The only one who's got buyback right now is Fada. He's the only one.
And Exorcism's up to 15 more seconds.
And they just keep pushing. Keep amplifying, Mind Control. Here comes the spin from Hal, just working on that melee rack. Fada having trouble keeping his Force Spirits alive as well. And this is even without the effect of the Winter Wyvern. Kaka is purposely sitting as far back as possible so he can just blink and get that curse off. How? Okay, that Sunray hurts. But Moo's going to trigger off his ultimate. Team Liquid, they want to delay this one up. If they can just keep Moo away from that Rax. If they don't, they lose the melee, so they have to jump. There's KP. Starts with the crush on Mind Control. Kuro coming in from the side, triggers off Nightmare. How is still very low. That Aegis Immortals, however, still in his possession. Has Newbee had enough of this? It looks like it. Aegis time's out, so say goodbye to that. And they don't finish the melee rack. They do a considerable amount of damage, but this is going to regenerate.
Guess they probably hope they would have went for the range at that point, but they want to commit. Very careful about playing around that 5-minute timer. And Liquid doing a very good job of stalling with the Force Spirits.
It's also patience from Newbee. Like, you've got yourself one hell of a lead. Like, you're 12 to 19 minutes in. Your advantage is over 12,000 in the net worth and just shy of 5k in the experience. You're sitting in a very, very comfortable spot. You don't want to have yourself a bad fight. That's when the swing happens, and that's when Liquid can get back into this game.
But sooner or later, they're going to have the Blink Dagger on the Tidehunter, and the team fight is a lot worse. I think maybe it might have been a better choice to take the fight that you know.
Yep. Possibly. That's when patience doesn't always pay off.
Yeah, but Lycan's still very poor. Hal's doubling his net worth.
Jirax is on a bit of a mission. They take the tier 1 tower on bottom lane, and then Jirax tries to establish some decent aggressive vision inside the Newbee jungle. This will allow Liquid to fight a lot better, especially now it's nighttime. Kuro becomes a lot more effective again. And Fada keeps the pressure up. He's actually really close to finishing up that Aghanim Scepter.
Yeah, he's very farmed despite the situation that Liquid are in.
He's just, well, he's only 100 gold of net worth behind that of the Death Prophet.
They're looking to jump Hal right now.
This is dangerous. The better option may just be to try and control up KP. The Lycan Wolves are over on the side. You've done some chip damage to the tower. KP jumps forward, gets the amplification over on Fada.
is under attack.
And Mind Control, oh wow, what a great rune to have for this. He's walking around with an Invis rune. This will allow him to basically walk in to point blank range on Newbee. The crush will come out, but when is that Ravage going to arrive? Now still not spinning with Tumblr controlled up. They're all in close. Mind Control. I think it's time to let it rip. The Nova's coming out. Mind Control still sitting behind her. And there's your Ravage. Moves in trouble. And maybe they got the damage. Kaka will go down too. House spin. Ineffective. They're being chased down by Team Liquid. Back behind the tower. You've lost the Phoenix, but that is all from Team Liquid.
Wow, that would have been a lot worse had Death Prophet not luckily silenced the Tidehunter while he was invisible.
Or else that Ravage would have come a lot sooner.
I was surprised Newbee took that fight. They had one hero near the mid lane, one hero near the top lane, and had to wait for those TPs, and by the time those TPs came in, they had to push a little bit too far away from their tower.
And it's fights like this which give Liquid fans hope. Like, you're able to find those kills. Obviously, the Invis rune helped a hell of a lot with it, but it buys space for the big scaling mid, like Invoker, to get something substantial, allowing Matumman to have something more than a Vlad's and Treads.
Still, Newbee can't possibly find that window where Roche is up, and there is no Ravage from Liquid. I don't think it will be there, though, with a 90-second Roche respawn.
A minute and a half until he's up. Say goodbye to Kuro. KP as well as Hao just rotating over. They still had that observe ward on the cliffside, which was watching Kuro's farm.
I think Newbee still need a gem. That would have saved them from that last engagement. And the Wolves are constantly scouting out KP, and if he's really unlucky, then the Wolves will hit him like right as he's about to blink. And this team might have a bout of miscommunication.
Newbee's coming in through the bottom lane again. Like, there is no Ravage, sure. There's no Supernova for the moment. Nova's up in a bit. Fada, wow, that's deep. They're jumping in. They really want that Invoker. They've almost got him with a Meg charge. Fada, the spin from Hao. Won't find the kill. And now Hao's low the Sunstrike thanks to Force Up is going to miss on Hao. Bring up the kitty ward. Nova still not here for Jirax, so he's not put it down. Kuro's in trouble, and the curse! It locked Jirax in the back. Kuro's going to come over. Jirax, he'll go into the Nova. Kuro, the impedance damage from Chuan will be enough to kill him off. Moose on the run, but the double crush from KP, keeping Liquid inside the base, allowing the double control and silence from Nu with a Crimp Swarm too. They just keep rampaging forward. The buyback's available from the Liger. Jirax going to start up with that Sunray, trying to find KP, bringing him down low. That will not protect him. The cold embrace. So Team Liquid, they hold their melee racks. Matumman is back alive thanks to his buyback. And that tired Ravage is off cooldown in 7 seconds time. Newbee must back up. Not to mention that Ravage is now going to be coupled with the Blink Dagger of Mind Control.
The racks are still alive at the end of the day. And the good thing for Liquid, they're too poor that they can't kill themselves in Winter's Curse. Slaughter with Amplify, though, that's a very dangerous combo. Amp plus Winter's Curse will make quick work of anyone, no matter how underfarmed you are.
Just seems to be difficult for, like, you're getting amplifications off, but KP's having a real hard time just getting that quick lockdown as well. You don't have the combination here like we're seeing with Dark Seers and such previously. So he's just trying to grab that one hero and bring him down.
And a BKB now on Death Prophet, Liquid will have to be very quick if they want to kill him. I don't think that the Ravage is going to be enough. Maybe combined with the Invoker combo, but that is very hard in time before he pops his BKB.
And there's BKB and Yule Scepter as well, so there's a secondary evasion in there too. Not to mention, then you've got Cold Embrace, then you've got Curse, and Kaka's getting really great positioning for all of this thanks to that early Blink Dagger he was able to pick up. The scan perfect from Liquid, hits all of Newbee as they run through the bottom river under the cover of smoke. So Team Liquid, they're backing up. There is, however, observers and sentries all through that Liquid bottom lane,
that means
and they smoke underneath it too.
And they see his Blink Dagger.
Yep. So Newbee understands that Liquid is smoked. Liquid understands that Newbee is smoked.
I don't think they know of the BKB though on Moo, so they might try and go all on Moo. He pops his BKB and then Liquid will likely lose the fight.
That blink forward from the Juggernaut. Hao's the only one that's really exposed. Moves over on the side. They need that jump initiation, but where is your opening? Not really coming up. The Force Spirits are revealed, so Newbee understands something's wrong. There's your BKB. Just testing to see if it works for Moo. He wants to track down Kuro, but it's not going to happen. That's your 10-second BKB blowing from Moo.
He did not need to pop that there. He has Cold Embrace. He has double heal coming up from the healing ward.
Maybe the nerf's getting the better of him.
They had good scouting too. They had the Manta Illusions as well as like the Purge, Stater Creep that was scouting out Liquid on the side, but yeah, Newbee will have to back up with that.
Yeah, Liquid still want to try and fight it if Newbee was up for it, but without that BKB, they bail out. Notice too Matumbaman's next item, so instead of actually building into Necrobooks, he now gets a 25-26 minute hand of Midas from Matumbaman.
Yeah, sometimes you need to do this, especially if you're going to die a lot in the team fights.
You understand you're going to play catch up? He's got 6.6k net worth.
There's just a limited amount of space for them to farm. So like the 190 reliable gold will make up a large percentage of his farm.
Yep.
And reliable gold is important when you died 4 times.
Yeah. And when you're like, if you want to start doing comparisons between Matumbaman as well as the Juggernaut, like that's a 10k net worth difference. Okay, Newbee, it's time to go again. That BKB's off cooldown in 7 seconds. And Team Liquid, well, what a time for the BKB to be up. Team Liquid slipped themselves inside the pit. Here comes the slaughter. Blink Crush, catch it out too. The Matumbaman as well as Mind Control. There is this over Mind Control, and now your Ravage will pop move, protected by his BKB with the Omni Smash. You can say goodbye to Butter so quickly. They're trying to focus down the Mind Control too. The Noble will not be able to connect as the fight splits up. There is no opening now for Liquid. With no Ravage, with no Nova, with no Invoker, Newbee will enter into Roshan. They don't have amplification, so this isn't as quick as they would like it to be. And Jirax is going to try and cause some problems. Throw the sprites into the pit. The extra damage is not enough. And Kuro's keeping close tabs at the same time, so is Wyvern.
This is so slow without the amplified damage from Slardar. Yep. He had a good jump, but not with the greatest escape plan, like him just chewing him down with the protection of the egg.
This almost feels like Newbee are baiting Liquid to come into like a semi-fight here. But Liquid aren't having a bar of it. They're actually backing out. They'll let Newbee have Roshan. The only one who's still nearby is Kuro, who's farming up the camp.
Newbee have far better vision in the pit and have not expended that Blink Winter's Curse. Fought really close to getting that last hit, that Sunstrike.
If he did, it would have been boss, but
now that's 3 Midases up on Liquid. Looks like Phoenix is committed to the 3rd one on Team Liquid.
Oh. And now it's catch-up gaming.
Yeah, Newbee, they have to feel like they should end the game right now. So they're 12,000 gold. They know they're very far ahead in gold, and then you see the 3 Midases. They're like, okay, well, that's 6,000 useless gold in terms of team fight potential for them.
You're going to start getting to a point where maybe Hao just has to always stay exactly where he is on this bot lane. Just spam out the Mana Style illusions and send them in towards the racks.
You just go in on the racks.
That's one way to do it. But at the same time, Liquid have shown they still can take team fights. So you have to give that respect too. The Observer was letting them see Kuro. That Obs was only got 2 seconds left on it. So KP will try and make the most out of it. Jumping over towards Sparta. Where's that flash? It's just going to be the spin. Sparta's already down the curse. Just locking in position. Jirax is turning his Sun Ray over. Funny enough, that actually ends up helping them until now the only patch. Kuro will drop to a double kill for Hao. Backing up further. KP with a follow-up stun. Jirax can't really help out. They'll put down the healing for KP hit by the Sunstrike. And now it's Team Liquid's turn. The Nova is up. The Ravage on cooldown for 15 seconds. Time and Newbee have not achieved their objective. They've done damage to the range racks, but they haven't killed off the melee. Exorcism is up in 1 second time. So say hello to Moo's ultimate. Hao will come back in too. That Ravage timing, it is now here. Be ready to jump. Moo's BKB, and now the Ravage. They need to bring down the Death Prophet. It's the only way they keep their racks alive with the spin from Hao causing trouble that Jirax would have done. Through the Sunstrike coming in. Moo's so low. He's gone. Hao's down too. The Agency Mortar will trigger, but Chon is burning in the sun. They have to back up. Move, there he goes. Finally down. They keep the defense in a way, but still, Newbee so much strength behind them. They're going to bring down that bottom rack. Fortifications delaying the inevitable. It's only the Tidehunter as well as the Phoenix to hold the line. Now this is gone. And maybe more. Can they actually take this tier 3? You don't have the Invoker. There's a minimum of a sideline, and Mind Control goes down too. Jirax will try and burn up Hao. Drop the life down, but you've still got the healing ward available. KP's back in the front lines. With amplification over on Jirax, Liquid just don't have the manpower.
And even if they are back up, they have no Ravage to fight again. As soon as Death Prophet comes back, she'll have her Exorcism. This looks all but lost for Liquid.
It really, really does. There'll be one last roll of the dice in 30 seconds time, but you may be facing Megas at the same time. KP gonna miss his initiation. He's the only one from Newbee which is separated from the primary pack. Lycan is back up and running. So there goes your tier 3 tower. Still no Invoker, still no Tidehunter, still no Control. How's going to spin and beat into the rank this way, and then KP gets a jump over on Jirac. You can say goodbye to that Fierce, he'll buy back for the Omni Slash. Kuro's going to go down as well. Stay where he was, so Matama wouldn't actually get the extra hits from that Omni Slash. Matama, what do you want to do? You want to run around, come back for the Wyvern, but the curse actually stops mind control as he blinked in. He's beating down on Matama, they'll blink themselves forward. The Splinter Blast will find the revenge kill, and now it's Liquid throwing their bodies towards Newbee. Far too far on the front line. Smooth Exism is up. They're all going down, and GG! Newbee will take game 1 against Team Liquid. It is just too much for Liquid to repel.
What a superb draft coming out from Newbee. I think the Winter Wyvern was just the absolute key pick versus that first pick Lycan, and also was just miraculously good against the Tidehunter, who needs a disruptor. And also, a lot of commentation has to go out to Chuan in his early game play on that Enchantress.
Yeah, the boarding, the fact that Jirac's also committed to it, that Icarus dive, like I'm surprised that even happened. I'd love to know the reason why he did that. Then the rest of Liquid trying to come in to help him out too, so you lose the early vision, and then Chuan does like Chuantress things, takes over the dire jungle, takes over that top lane, and Matamaman is just, well,